Growing up, I had dreams and aspirations, but always felt like the kid that didn't fit in. For the most part, I wasn't a bad kid, but when I made the transition into adulthood, I turned to the streets for guidance. This led to getting locked up in juvenile hall, doing time in CYA, and eventually a 120-month sentence in federal prison. I had a lot of time to think and reflect during my federal sentence, so I share with you what I learned, hoping I can positively influence someone else's life with Prison Talk.
You know, we always get a lot of questions about people that are getting out of prison and they talk about getting employment. And we recently interviewed an individual who said that, who talked about having a hard time maintaining employment. And I always tell people, man, rather than looking for somebody else to employ you, try to create your own self-employment. And what I mean by that is that, we all have skills that we possess, that we were blessed with, that are special, that are unique to the individual. And what you need to do is hone in on that skill. When you're in prison, you got a lot of time to do nothing, but you could do a whole lot. And if you could perfect whatever skill it is, maybe it's drawing, maybe you're a good tattoo artist, or maybe you're good at cutting hair, you're really skilled with the clippers, or maybe you're, you're good at making stuff, arts and crafts. Maybe you're good at training, working out. You love to train, you love to work out. Well, each one of those can be monetized on the street. You can take whatever skills you learned as far as in a barbershop, and you can go on the streets, man, and rent a chair from somebody and start cutting hair. You can utilize that and build your clientele up and create your own brand cutting hair. You could if you know how to braid hair, there's a lot of money braiding hair. Women love their hair braided. In prison, you're braiding a bunch of men's hair. So rather than having to braid on some motherfuckers with some nuts, you can braid the hair of some beautiful women with some coochies. You know what I'm saying? And get some excitement out of it. It's a little bit better than being around some dick and balls. Anyways, same thing with training. You're training with a bunch of barbarians. Armpits and assholes. You can get out here and start you a boot camp. You can start $10 a head. 4 or 5 people starting off, and build your clientele up, and open up, start a class somewhere, or rent space at a gym where you can do a class a couple of times a week and start paying your bills. But these are things you can do that don't require a whole lot, and you don't have to go and face the humiliation or getting turned down at Walmart, at Target, at Lowe's, checking that box. Are you a convicted felon? What'd you go to prison for? And how long have you been out? And all this bullshit that you're gonna have some little, 18-year-old or 21-year-old punk question you about. Be your own boss, create your own hustle. If you're an artist or you do arts and crafts, you know how to make stuff, man, you can, open up an eBay account and sell your stuff on eBay. Initially you might not sell a whole lot, you might be a hit and a miss, but at least you can start doing something that works for you. And if you're consistent and persistent, you will be successful. So, I say, if you have any skills and you're doing time in prison, that's the place to perfect those skills. And when you get out, you should be able to use those skills to create an income and provide for your family. Like if you're into cars, if you worked on cars before, body work and paint. There's a lot of places looking for body work and paint people. If you're a mechanic, you can easily get employed under the table doing mechanic work. There's a number of things you can do, but to be out here whining and crying and making excuses, man, you gotta be a hustler. You got that prison dick, slang that dick on a BBW, get you a roof over your head and do what you gotta do. Sometimes you got to make sacrifices, but I'm keeping it real, man. It's better than being homeless, and it's better than getting caught up, doing something stupid. Slang prison dick, if that's the last result, and at least you can get some money in your pocket and get a roof over your head to get going on something else until you can get on your feet. But make no excuses, man. Utilize your skills that you were blessed with and make something of yourself. Don't be a loser.